Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, UnfilteredMama78. So, my channel is about opinions I have and everything going on and things I think that should be addressed. So you may think it, but I'm that one that will speak it. So, coming to you while I'm walking around because unfortunately due to COVID and inflation, greed got a hold of everybody and I ended up homeless. Looking for a place, but because inflammations went up so much, I can't afford to move into anywhere because it's ridiculous. A 3-bedroom right now in Los Lunas, Belen, Rio Communities is going for around $2,000, depending on who the people are that are renting it. I found a place for $1,500, but they want $1,500 for first month's rent, last month's rent, plus an $800 deposit. Fortunately, I only have $1,800 and can't move in anywhere with that kind of money. And having no vehicle, no transportation, you can't have a job either unless you live somewhere close enough to get one. So, welcome to my world. Sucks to be me, but, oh well, shit happens. Just gotta go with it and deal with it. So, my little boy has a habit of being himself. He's 2 years old and in his terrible twos. Even though he has a hole in his heart and an enlarged heart, you would never know because he's just so active and always running around. So right now, I'm staying with my sister. There's a lot of us in the house, and I am grateful for her because otherwise I don't know where I would go. And having to live in somebody else's house and be responsible for yourself, your mother, and your children is really hard on one person, and it's even harder on the people you live with, especially when they work and you don't, and your kids are pains in the asses like mine. But they're my kids and I love them either way. They're just themselves wherever they go, and I guess you could say they're comfortable at my sister's because they are all themselves. But I recently heard that there's a study done, and children or siblings that fight with each other constantly is because they are comfortable in their home and comfortable and feel safe with their parents and their households. And siblings that stick together and always have each other's backs is because they feel they have nobody and don't feel secure where they're at. So they feel that they have to take care of each other. So, woohoo! All this time I was thinking I was the worst mother in the world. Turns out I'm awesome because my kids feel safe and comfortable and loved enough to just be themselves. Other people disagree, but I care less what other people think because guess what? Ain't nobody paying my bills. Ain't nobody there to help me when I need it. Ain't nobody doing anything but putting their 2 cents in where it don't belong. Because, I've always been the black sheep and the bad daughter, but who cares? I wasn't put in this world to be liked anyways. And other people's opinions don't matter very much these days. Especially after the last 20-some years I've done. Everybody likes to have an opinion about shit. But when it comes to it, ain't nobody ever stepping up. And then when you have an opinion to give them, oh, you're the worst person in the world. So that's pretty much me and why people love to hate me, because I'm the one that is not Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat shit. So people think I'm loud, or they think I'm obnoxious, or I'm crazy or mean or sarcastic or hateful. No, I'm just real. And besides, in a world full of Barbies, I'd rather be a Bridget anyways. My husband right now is staying with his friend because there's not enough room. And with my sister already taking us in, and then her and her husband taking in 2 of their other nieces, it's really hard. And my sister and my brother-in-law work really hard. My brother-in-law works 12 hours a day from 7 to 7 out in the cold with arthritis in his back and everything, just to pay the bills. And my sister don't have to work, but she chooses to because she knows he works hard and wants to take some of the burden off of him. And, you know, right now, things are just like so expensive. But my sister and her husband, they say they make too much money, so they can't get food stamps, they can't get help with light, they can't get any type of assistance. But all of these other people out here that are all strung out on something, and their kids all dirty and hungry, well, they're all selling all their shit, are capable of getting all they want. So it's pretty sad, you know. And then living in Valencia County really sucks because there is no assistance for a lot of people out here. My son has disabilities. He's developmentally delayed, and he used to be a behavioral, but we used to have this great program out here that was called Team Builders. Well, thanks to, what was it, Governor Lujan, I think, and her happy-go-lucky ways, there went all our services for our kids with special needs, our kids with disabilities, our adult family with disabilities, you know. And it really bites because there are so many people out here that could use those services. And Team Builders was so great. They helped my son, and if it weren't for them, my son would probably still be behavioral. So I got to give a shout out to Michael, Janelle, Joanne, just 3 people that worked with my son from Team Builders who really stood out and made a difference and made his life a little easier with the tools they gave him and taught him. So we should all figure something out and get Team Builders back up working and running in all of New Mexico, because there are so many people that can use their assistance, and they are awesome. As for the school systems, that's a joke. We came from Los Lunas. My 15-year-old has a 6th grade education and is in the 9th grade because thanks to COVID and remote learning and going to school and not having to do nothing, just sit around, my son got all F's. And when I asked them to hold him back, they didn't bother. I've asked them to test him since elementary because he was behind. Nope, hasn't done it. So my son is in 9th grade, struggling, but they have a pretty good principal at the Berlin High School who told my kids she's not putting up with nothing and she's going to make them work and learn. So I'm grateful for that. And my sister's 3 of her kids graduated from the high school out here and are doing awesome. And I heard the special ed out here is pretty awesome. So I have wishful thinking on that part. But the school systems are really failing our kids, and they need to be held accountable. My son is in special ed. He had a pullout one day, so he just pretty much marked whatever to get out for the pullout, and so it marked his comprehension was higher than it was. So they pulled him out of special ed, put him in regular ed, which he failed. So they made the accommodations for special ed, but Los Lunas never bothered to put put him back in special ed. So when I went to go and take him in summer school, because he was missing a credit he was supposed to take for 9th grade, I found out my son failed. Woohoo, Los Lunas School for notifying the family and doing all you can. You really suck. So, right now my son is enrolled in Berlin High School, but for some reason, Los Lunas High School has him classified as a senior, but sent him to Berlin High School as a junior. And I'm getting calls every day from Los Lunas High School that my son is absent. Well, for both of my kids from there. And the funny thing is, my kids ain't even going there, but apparently these people out here like to keep your kids enrolled or say they're enrolled for their numbers. So I don't know what's going on, but our school system is failing our kids and getting paid for numbers they ain't even got, which really sucks. But chop it up to Valencia County, Los Lunas schools. Look at all the crap we've already had going on that they sweep under the carpet and slap them on the wrist and let them go with their crap. But what can we do? We're only parents who want a good education for our kids. And when you go and you say anything what they don't like, they send child services after you. So that's happened to me because I disagreed with the principal. But like I said, I don't care. I'm holding my ground when it comes to my kids. And if you guys can't deal with special ed kids or kids that are having issues and going through stuff, you shouldn't be in the school systems. And I am that mom that they do have to lock in the office to escort the teachers off property if you upset my kids. Then before we'll do it again. Because in the first place, when you work at schools, you're there for our children, not for yourself. And if you don't like the profession, don't get in it. Because our kids should not be suffering because you just want a paycheck and you're in a bad mood. Let's see. Prices right now at the stores are so ridiculous. I went to get some masa for tortillas, and 1 week the bag was $17. Not even 5 days later, it went up to $27. So, instead of the retailers, all these big chain companies that got to stay in business, Walmart, Smith's, Kroger's, Albertsons, instead of y'all trying to help the community, you guys just really bent us over without Vaseline. And then you're like, oh, it's inflation. Yeah, the welfare office will give you a lot of food stamps just so you can pay these big companies and fill all their pockets. So, we ain't being helped. They're giving us money to help the people that are funding them. Because half these little establishments in these towns over here got shut down. Good people losing their businesses, losing their legacy, losing everything that their parents worked their butts off for, losing it just so we could keep all these big places open. And what are they giving back to us? Here you go, here's a gallon of milk, but you gotta pay $10 for it. Tired? My little one's falling asleep. Here. Here, no, you'll fall. You just woke up. So, let's see.